After decision variables and objective function, now it's the turn for the constraints of the problem. The constraints that we have with this problem could be categorized in 5 categories, as you can see in this slide. Availability of media, total budget, television restriction regarding the number of the advertisements, restriction on the number of customers reached, and finally, television budget. For the first one, that is availability of media. It is explicitly mentioned in the problem about maximum times available per month. It means if your model tells you about daytime TV advertisements that they should be 20 times a month, this answer is not feasible because maximum times available per month for daytime TV advertisement is 15. For evening time advertisement, it is 10. For daily newspaper, it is 25. Sunday newspaper, it is 4, and for radio, it is 30 in month. As human beings, we can understand it quickly, but we should be able to tell it to the computer. We should be able to put it on the paper. So we consider that restriction part. That should say about this variable x1, or if I want to put the definition of the decision variable, the number of daytime TV advertisement should be equal or smaller than 15. The number of evening TV advertisements must be equal or smaller than 10. The number of daily newspaper advertisement must be equal or smaller than 25, and so forth. So here you can see this model. They are not very aligned, I just noticed. You see DTV, daytime advertisement, daytime TV advertisement, equal or smaller than 15. ETV, evening, equal or smaller than 10. DN, equal or smaller than 25. SN, equal or smaller than 4. And R, equal or smaller than 30. Now, your model always consider the restriction on the availability and never gives you infeasible result that violating these restrictions. After this, we go for the next constraint restriction that you extract from the problem we just reviewed together, discussed together. That's the reason reviewing phase of modeling is very important, because again I'm saying, first we as human beings need to understand something to be able to transfer it to someone or something else. I already extracted that part from this part from the problem, from the case, and copied from there and pasted it here. And it says, Relax and Enjoy provided BP&J with an advertising budget of $30,000 for the first month campaign. How much does it cost us for each advertisement in each of these medias? For daytime advertisement in TV, it is $1,500. As you can see, cost per advertisement. For evening TV advertisement, it is $3,000 per advertisement, and so forth. For example, for radios, it is $100 per advertisement. Therefore, the constraint should be something like this: the number of daytime advertisement times 1,500 plus the number of evening TV advertisement times 3,000 plus the number of daily newspaper advertisement times 400 plus, and so forth. Therefore, the constraint, the budget constraint, should be something like the one that now you see in front of you. 1,500 DT plus 3,000 ETV plus 400, and so forth, equal or smaller than 30,000. The total cost of all these things should be smaller, equal or smaller than the project that we have. And you see, the texture is the same. For example, the first example that we reviewed together, that was that production planning example, it was about not budget in money, it was about time. And instead of cost per advertisement, we had time per production, time per product production. They are the same. That's the reason when you understand a type of problems, you are good with bunch of problems that are, although different in appearance, but they are the same in nature. After budget constraint, now is the time for television restriction regarding the number of the advertisements. Again, I extracted the a line, the associated part from the text, and I put it here to show you all these constraints are inferred from the scenario description, from the problem, from the case that we had. It's exactly a sentence in that problem that says at least 10 television commercials must be used. It means that the number of daytime television commercials plus the number of evening television commercials should be equal or greater than 10, because it says it should be at least 10. So the summation of daytime and evening time, DTV plus ETV, should be equal or greater than 10. After this, restriction on the number of customer reached. Again, part of text extracted, copied and pasted here, that reads at least 50,000 potential customers must be reached. With each daytime commercial TV, as you can see in the first column here, number of potential customers reached, 1,000 customers are reached. With the evening TV commercials, 2,000 customers are reached, and so forth. So the restriction would be like this: 1,000 times the number of daytime commercials plus 2,000 times number of evening TV commercials plus 1,500 times, and like that you continue to finish all the things. All the things should be equal or greater than 50,000, because it says at least 50,000 potential customers must be reached. And as you noticed in the previous one, I first mentioned the variable and after that I put this parameter, but here I said first parameter 1000 times this one. I wanted to implicitly tell you there is no difference in such things. You put 1000 x1 or x1 times 1000. Anyway, you are comfortable, do it that way. Just make sure the logic is solid and right. You can see this constraint in this slide, in this part of the video, 1000 DTV plus 2000 ETV, and like that. And again, check it, 1000 DTV, 2000 ETV. Here. That you see, so let's go for the next constraint. It is television budget. This budget constraint is specifically for television, and it is mentioned in the text that no more than 18,000 may be spent on television advertisement. We have two television advertisement, DTV, ETV, and the costs are here. So 1500 times DTV plus 3000 times ETV, that is the spending on the television advertisement. Do we have any television advertisement media here? No, it is newspaper, it is newspaper, it is radio, so we have only these two. So 1500 DTV plus 3000 ETV should be equal or smaller than 18,000, as you can see in this part of the video. After this, we are done and we are ready to show the full mathematical model. As always, we need to also add non-negativity constraint to the whole model because of all those things that I explained last time, that the number of commercials cannot be a negative number. It can be 0 when you don't want to use that medium, but it cannot be negative. So the full model along with the non-negativity constraints are, as you can see in this slide, the objective function, the constraint, all of them, as well as the non-negativity one. Thank you.